Arjun Rampal throws a fit when confronted with his relationship rumors. Someone wants Ranveer and Deepika to prove that they are in love. What lies ahead for the aging Sanjay Dutt? Arjun Kapoor is distancing himself from Sonakshi. Hello to all you guys who have tuned in. I am Mia and I've got a jam-packed show for you on WeChat Presents 9XE The Show.
I'm hot, you're not, I'm a superstar, I'm a superstar. 9XE, 9XE.
Let's kick off with Arjun Rampal's shocking reaction to relationship rumors. Last year, one of the biggest headlines was Hrithik Roshan and Suzanne Khan's divorce. While their split seemed amicable, what followed was a media circus that painted Arjun Rampal as the reason for the breakup. The rumors refused to die down, and last week we heard that Arjun had moved out of the home he shared with wife Meher and into a 5-star hotel in the suburbs of Mumbai. Since 9XE The Show insists on getting facts right from the horse's mouth, we seized the opportunity when we ran into the man in question, Arjun, at Dabu Ratnani's calendar launch. And this was his reaction.
There was news of you being out of the house, not living with me.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
That's strange. We expected Arjun to deny these rumors now that we had given him a chance to, but he just walked away.
Thank you.
Not over yet. He made it clear to his host Dabu and wife Manisha that he did not want any more media interactions. Then he retired to the bar and 10 minutes later he left the venue scathing with anger. Oops, Arjun, hope we did not rub you the wrong way. Moving on from one couple to another, looks like Sanjay Leela Bhansali is not convinced about the chemistry between Ranveer Singh and Deepika Padukone. So he is making them rehearse their romance. Yes, you heard us right. We did say rehearse and romance in the same sentence. Just take a look at these photos. Do you think their chemistry is lacking?
No, yeah.
Well, if you ask their director, Bhansali, you might just hear a yes. Bhansali brought the now alleged couple together for Ram Leela, and we practically had to sit in an ice-cold room while watching them because their chemistry was so sizzling. But when it came to working with them in Bajirao Mastani, Bhansali was still not sure about their chemistry. So he made them shoot some scenes a few days before Christmas just to see if they still had it. This is when Deepika begins her schedule only in March this year. Looks like Bhansali had a few doubts. Maybe he too believes that when a couple takes their relationship off screen, they lose their on-screen chemistry. We mean just look at Kareena Kapoor and Saif Ali Khan. Their chemistry in Kurban and Agent Vinod was as hot as a wet blanket. But Deepika and Ranveer are not the only ones spending time with each other in the name of art. Didn't we already know that the newly single Hrithik has asked his Mohenjo-Daro director Ashutosh Gowarkar to let him spend time with his co-star Pooja Hegde? Perfectionist Hrithik wants to get their passion just right before they begin shooting. But when it comes to the eccentric Bhansali, he might or might not keep the test scene shot with Deepika and Ranveer in the final cut. But seems like the duo decided to do some method acting themselves. How else can you explain their cozy New Year holiday in New York? Well, as long as the final product is hot and heavy, no one is complaining. Least of all, the actors. From the younger lot, let's move on to someone who has been in the industry for over 3 decades and has seen it all. We are talking about Sanjay Dutt. What lies in store for Sanju Baba now? When Sanjay recently stepped out of jail for his furlough, that's a customary leave from jail, there seemed to be something different about him. Gone was the man who sobbed when his sentence was announced. There was a new calmness and even a certain playfulness in him. So 9XE The Show decided to charter the course of this new Sanjay Dutt. We got in touch with those close to him to discover the man behind the troubled image and to find out what exactly lies ahead for him when he finally is a free bird.
The good part about Sanjay is that he has great goodwill in the industry. He is the Baba of the industry, as they call him. You know, people really love him. And he is lovable. So in the sense that, you know, every time he comes back from these jail stints or whatever happens to him, his life is like a roller coaster. So as an actor, people have no complaints where he's concerned. So why shouldn't they accept him back after he finishes his jail term?
But will this be enough to see him through another inning in Bollywood? After all, at 55, he might not be having the best pick of films. But 9XE The Show found out that Sanjay, in fact, has producers lining outside his door with scripts and he could be due for the best work of his career.
I guess people were wary of approaching him when his jail term was announced. But once he's back, they know that there's no jail term. Their investments are safe. They will approach him, and Sanjay is going to do some of his most memorable and wonderful work after he comes back from jail.
In fact, his friends have put projects on hold for him because they see no one else in the role except their dear friend Sanju Baba. Like Raju Hirani and Vidhu Vinod Chopra, the men behind the Munnabai series.
My deal with him is when he comes out, we start Munnabai the day he comes out. So he keeps reminding me of that, and I'm trying to write for him. So no, he's good. He'll be fine.
But it's not only his professional life that's been looking up. He has found a serenity in his home life as well. After battling drug addiction, the death of his mother Nargis, and later his first wife Richa Sharma, and losing the custody of his daughter Trishala, Sanjay has found solace with wife Manyata and their twins Sharan and Ikra. At the New Year's Eve party thrown at his residence, Sanjay left the socializing to Manyata, whose idea it was to have the party. And he spent all his time with his children. In fact, he is extremely protective of daughter Ikra. It's a natural instinct since he was not there while his first daughter Trishala was growing up with her grandparents in the US.
There's nothing left to bring a turmoil in his life. He has a nice family. He has a wife. He has 2 children here. He has Trishala settled in New York. And everything for the first time in his life. He knows that there's nothing which is going to come and hit out at me.
When you've led a life like Sanjay's with so many ups and downs, there will be someone out there who would want to capture it on celluloid. And who better than a friend to do it?
You know, you will need to live 20 lives to face all that he's faced in that one life. Abhijat and me, when we used to leave his house every night after hearing like 1 decade of his life, we'll step out and say, yaar, hum to jay nahi aisa lagta hai. The amount of, he's seen so much in terms of his, you know, he was in drugs and the underworld days, the court cases, the lawyers, the relationship with his father, his marriages, and there's so much that I think it's a very interesting film.
Sanjay Dutt might have led a troubled life and might have been an enigma for the most part of it, but you can't deny the pull that he has on the audience. The ball is now in their court for his next inning. Coming up, 9 actors rejected this biopic. Sonakshi wants to get back with Arjun, but he does not. Welcome back to the sexiest show in town. WeChat presents 9XE The Show. Right now, the biggest news in town is that 9 top actors of Bollywood have given the thumbs down to one common project. Irfan Khan, Farhan Akhtar, Aditya Roy Kapoor, Varun Dhawan, Siddharth Malhotra, Arjun Kapoor. All of them have given a big thumbs down to the biopic on poet Sahir Ludhianvi. Bombay Talkies director Ashi Dua's project has lost its way, and how? To begin with, Ashi approached 6 big actors of Bollywood to play Sahir Ludhianvi, but she did not get a positive response. What could be the possible reason for such talented and popular actors to turn down such an interesting project? The biopic intends to show the complicated yet beautiful love triangle between Sahir Ludhianvi, the popular poet and lyricist of Bollywood, Amrita Pritam, the well-known poetess, and Imrose, a renowned painter. And then 3 leading ladies of Bollywood shut their door on Ashi too.
I like them young, I like them sweet, I like them gold.
Priyanka Chopra was the first one to be approached for Amrita's role, then Kareena, and lastly Sonakshi Sinha. Sonakshi also gave look tests for the role. Maybe the stars don't feel worthy enough of portraying such respected personalities. But this is just upsetting Ashi. She is feeling the heat from the studio she roped in to back the project. They have made it very clear that if there is no big star attached to the film, it won't happen. The young girl is hunting for her actress for almost 8 months now, but nothing positive has turned out. Buzz is the only confirmed actor is Fawad Khan for the role of Imrose. But what will Imrose do if the 2 protagonists are not in place? Sonakshi may be in 2 minds about doing Ashi Dua's project, but when it comes to Arjun Kapoor, Sonakshi is very clear in her mind and heart. The girl who lost her heart to Arjun will do anything for her Tevar co-star. Absolutely anything. On December 5th, 2014, 9xe.com told you that Arjun and Sonakshi were taking a break from each other because of Arjun's commitment issues. But looks like Sonakshi can't wait to get him back. So now is she being clingy? Is she in no mood to let go of Arjun? Has it got difficult for her to forget the happy time spent with Arjun? Maybe these Instagram posts answer all the questions. Sonakshi has been constantly posting pictures with Arjun with the Tevar hashtag, of course. Is she trying to make us or herself believe that everything is just fine between the two? Sari ke falsa, kabhi match kiya re. This color-coordinated coincidence is just too much. Hashtag Tevar effect, hashtag luck now, hashtag promotions, hashtag matching, hashtag feeling blue. Showed our hashtag Tevar from Hyderabad to Calcutta to Ahmedabad. It's time to Instagram this moment. And it's on to the next one. Pinto and Radhika ke hashtag Tevar. And their film Tevar, which released today, is the only reason Arjun has kept mum. Quite the gentleman this guy is, isn't he? But quietly, he has been going around telling his friends that he is fed up with her regular nagging and is in no mood to patch up. Now seriously, where did Sonakshi lose her Tevar, I wonder? Their personal chemistry has gone for a toss, but we hope they are doing well together on screen at least. Let's take a look at our review of Tevar.
हेलो, मेरा नाम है सुपरमैन प्रबुद्ध दाइमा
एंड मैं हूँ सलमान द फैन नफीसा शर्मा
और हमने देखी जी हाँ तेवर।
तो ये कहानी है एक कबड्डी प्लेयर की who rescues a girl from an unwanted marriage और उसके बाद क्या होता है? He falls in love with the same girl.
What are you saying? Seriously? मतलब मैंने तो ये सोचा ही नहीं था कहानी में हो सकता है यार। मतलब हाउ? तो फिल्म में है अर्जुन कपूर, सोनाक्षी सिन्हा, मनोज बाजपेयी, राज बब्बर। How was अर्जुन कपूर in the film?
मुझे लगा कि वो इस शहजादे वाले डेज में अभी तक जी रहे हैं।
Great. Now ask me how was Sonakshi Sinha?
How was Sonakshi Sinha?
You saw Dabang?
हाँ.
You saw Rowdy Rathod? हाँ. You saw Dabang 2? हाँ. You saw R. Rajkumar?
हाँ.
Copy, paste.
Oh, same to same.
Control C, Control V. Manoj Bajpayee literally was the only saving grace in the film. Like literally.
Yeah, right. Because आजकल के गुड ने गब्बर वाले गेटअप में नहीं कच्चों में डिशुम डिशुम करते हैं ना.
And it does that like a boss.
Although it was a remake of a Telugu movie which goes by the name Okdu, I still think it was poorly made, extremely lengthy, and every dialogue and every scene in the movie was so predictable.
Yeah. So Amit Sharma, he's a ad filmmaker, and this is his debut movie. Now you can see that the movie looks good because he has that aesthetic sense of an ad film, but film, short film, ads, and then there are vines. They're like 10-second videos. Okay, the story was short enough to make a vine, but then it was a film. You see my problem with that? Nafisa, 3 things you learned from the movie. Go.
Number 1, सिर्फ बॉलीवुड में a cop father will hand over his son to the gundas and say ये लो मारो उसे और बेटा शाम को खाने पे मिलते हैं. ओके.
नंबर 2, गुंडों से बचने का सिर्फ एक ही सही तरीका है, मुंह पर गुलाल लगाइए तो वो आपको पहचान नहीं पाएंगे.
एंड नंबर 3, नो मैटर व्हाट हैपेंस इन योर लाइफ, कोई मर रहा हो, कोई आपसे जबरदस्ती शादी करना चाहता है, फिर भी किसी ने प्ले का बटन दबाया, म्यूजिक बजी तो आप नाचोगे.
सो ऑन द हॉट स्लॉट आई गिव इट 2 thumbs up.
एंड आई ऑल्सो गिव इट 2 thumbs up.
नाइस.
तो ये थी हमारी विशेष टिप्पणी ऑन द मूवी तेवर. डोंट फॉरगेट कि हम मूवी क्रिटिक्स नहीं हैं, हम मूवी बफ्स हैं.
हम आपको मिलेंगे अगले हफ्ते, तब तक के लिए here's a goodbye wave.
Coming up, Tiger says he has no time for women. Why is fan Shah Rukh Khan's toughest project yet? And we meet once again on WeChat Presents 9XE The Show. Now, Hrithik Roshan is an inspiration for many, but when it comes to his own sons, Hrithik hopes that they follow not in his footsteps, but a newcomer's. And that newbie is none other than Tiger Shroff.
He's very kind. He says he's a fan of me, which I think is ridiculous. He says that he doesn't want his kids to grow up to be like him. He wants his kids to grow up to be like me. So he's putting his kids into dancing, into gymnastics, this, that. And that was probably the biggest compliment that I've ever received.
But you can bet that Tiger really means it when he says that Hrithik is his inspiration.
In the industry, I only look up to Hrithik Roshan. And I try to emulate him as much as I can without, trying to be him, without trying to copy him, but just trying to look at him for inspiration.
However, apart from Hrithik's kind words, Tiger has a lot to smile about. In an exclusive chat with 9XE The Show, the otherwise shy Tiger let us in on his new project.
I start off the year with Sajid sir's film. I'm on a 2-film deal with him. So, yeah, it's an action romance genre, and we're definitely going to scale up in both the action and the script content, definitely. And we're trying to give the audience something new. After this, I move on to Balaji's film, which is with Remo sir, and that's a superhero concept.
So he seems pretty sorted on that front, but while Tiger's contemporaries mix business with pleasure, Tiger is not the partying type.
When you're sleeping, I'm working. When you're partying, I'm working. When you're eating, I'm working. I want to be ahead of myself.
And neither is he a ladies' man.
I'm not a very social kind of a person. I don't have very many friends. I'm very to myself. I like to be isolated. I like being, I don't know if this is the right word, but I'm very insecure about my career. I want everything to go right, and I want to stand out.
When you meet Tiger, you realize he is an old soul. He is a guy of few words who does not take his newfound success for granted.
After Heropanti, there's been the responsibility over me has become much greater. There's a certain way I have to behave in public. There's a certain, mannerism I have to attain, have to retain, maintain. Especially, when people keep coming up to you, it's the best feeling. So I can't let that go to my head.
Well, with an attitude like that, there's only one place he's gonna go, straight to the top. From a rising star, let's move on to the king of Bollywood. 9XE The Show got into an exclusive conversation with Shah Rukh Khan, and he gave us all the dope on his upcoming movies Fan and Raees. That's Badshah Khan for you. Now, it's so easy for him to pose in style for his fans, but if you think Shah Rukh can never find anything difficult, then you are wrong. He is finding it very tough to shoot for Fan.
Very difficult. The film is very difficult. It's very small, but it's a very challenging film. And Manish ने लिखी है, आदि produce कर रहे हैं, और hopefully हम कुछ नया उसमें कर पाएंगे. 30-40 दिन और बाकी हैं फिल्म के, और मैं अभी भी वहीं शूटिंग पे जा रहा हूँ. So it's a difficult film. I hope we are able to do something new with it.
Now, if you have to make something different, it will come along with some complications. But we are sure Shah Rukh will pull it off with ease and impress us too. But hey, do you guys know by whom Shah Rukh is super impressed?
I think Nawaz and Myra both are very accomplished actors, and I hope I'll come out learning something from them. I think Farhan and Ritesh have done a great choice by choosing Nawazuddin.
Yes, Nawazuddin has impressed Shah Rukh a lot with his work. In fact, 9XE the show has it that Shah Rukh was so impressed by Nawaz's work in Rais that he asked the director Rahul Dolakia to increase Nawaz's part in the film, even if that meant Shah Rukh's role was less in the film. That's quite an achievement, Nawaz. Now we are sure with Fan and Rais, Shah Rukh will serve us something different soon. And while we wait it out, we've got Sonam Kapoor to distract us. Sonam's Dolly Ki Dolly hits theaters on January 23rd. So 9XE the show went to the streets to know if you guys are excited to watch the film based on its trailer.
Film Dolly Ki Dolly. I think I love the name actually. It's got a lot of innocence to it, but I think it will be set in the modern contemporary drama of India per se.
Not that much but like okay kind of.
It seems like an interesting concept, different movie than what Arbaz Khan has produced earlier, and I'm looking forward to it.
Not very much excited. I think there is not new thing. I didn't found anything new in the trailer.
It looks super amazing. Like the trailer looks really good. Hope the movie is also that good.
I think she needs to improve on her acting because I don't understand what she does.
I'm expecting more from Sonam Kapoor.
Sonam is doing really well. I'm very excited to see her in this movie.
I have kind of liked Sonam Kapoor's movies like Khoobsurat and all, and she'd been good in that. So I hope she'll be good at this also.
Sonam Kapoor is still young. She's not yet experienced. So she should learn from something from like Malaika Arora or someone.
Doesn't look good to do an item number, and she's 40 like.
I feel that age is just a number, and as far as her sex appeal is concerned, that's not going anywhere. So I feel an item number would suit her perfectly.
She's so sexy, love her.
She should do it. She got such an amazing body. She should do it. Continue doing it.
Malaika Arora, she usually does item numbers, but then I think she should do something more of it in the industry.
Malaika has become really famous after Munni Badnaam Hui, and I just love the way she dances and all her moves. So one of the main reasons why I'm going to see it is because of Malaika. So yeah.
So there you have it. That's the word on the street about Dolly Ki Dolly. Coming up, is Rajinikanth's star fading? What's Sangeeta Bijlani's reaction to the Azharuddin biopic? Welcome back to WeChat Presents 9XE the show. And now we're going to talk about the man who is popularly known as Taliva, the boss. Yes, I'm talking about Rajinikanth. We often hear jokes about his awesomeness that go something like, Rajini can kill a living room. Even Gajini remembers Rajini. Sun doesn't rise until Rajini says good morning. His star power is so intense that people choose to believe he is above all and larger than life. But is Rajini's star power fading away? Rajini has had 2 flops back to back. His latest movie, Linga, is currently popular only for its lackluster performance at the box office. It collected just about 15 crores on its opening day. And looking at the response in the South, the theaters in Mumbai were not too keen on playing Linga's Hindi version. Now that's quite unacceptable for a Rajini star. And before Linga, Kocha Dayan was worse. So the editing studio Prime Focus made 35 cuts in the Hindi version of Linga before it hit the theaters. But did that help? Not at all. 9XE the show got in touch with Nambi Rajan, the owner of Aurora Cinema in Matunga, Mumbai. He is the man who had refurbished his theater when Rajini's Robot released 3 years ago. He said, firstly, the Tamil version that we are currently playing hasn't shown great response, unlike a Rajini movie that we've played earlier. The occupancy is approximately 30 to 40%, though it is better than Kocha Dayan, which failed miserably all over. So why will I play the Hindi version then? I rather increase the shows of PK. And if all this wasn't enough, distributors recently assembled at Rajinikanth's residence asking him to pay back the losses incurred. But in these difficult times, Rajini Sir's fans are all out to support him, naturally. For one, the man who takes care of Rajini's fan club thinks that nothing can affect Rajini's power.
ये ऐसे रहेंगे वो कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता बॉक्स ऑफिस में सब जगह में नहीं गिरे खाली वो त्रिची और तंजौर वाला ऐसा बोल रहे हैं, लेकिन वो भी क्या है, उनका बेनिफिट के लिए बोल रहा है, ऐसा कुछ नुकसान तो हुआ नहीं। 3 दिन में तो 102 करोड़ कलेक्शन किया उस पिक्चर ने।
Now that's something positive. We are sure with all that's going on, Rajini will be glad to know that nothing can hamper his fan following. And at 9XE The Show, we introduce you to his biggest fan, the king of Bollywood who believes nobody is bigger than the Rajinikanth. For Nambi Rajan and Shah Rukh Khan's sake, we hope that even this will pass. From that story, let's now look at what's happening in the international music circuit. For the supremely talented U2 musician Bono, the year did not end on a good note, and sadly, neither has it begun on one. In November, Bono met with a cycling accident in New York Central Park. The result is that he might never play the guitar. On U2's site, Bono wrote a post that detailed his injury. He said, "Recovery has been more difficult than I thought. As I write this, it is not clear that I will ever play guitar again. The band have reminded me that neither they nor Western civilization are depending on this. It's good to see that he still has his wit intact." A result of his injury is that he now has a titanium elbow. But knowing Bono, he will rock that too. He posted a photo of his elbow too. Now, a cycling accident does not sound as dangerous, but Bono's was. He fractured his eye socket, shoulder blade, little finger, and his upper arm. In fact, the bone in the upper arm broke in 6 places and jutted out of his skin. He was in surgery for 5 hours. But in spite of all this, looks like U2's tour is still on track. Bono said that he had to concentrate hard to be ready for the tour. Now, this is great news for fans everywhere. What's also great news for cricket fans everywhere is that Azharuddin's biopic is on track. Biopics seem to be the flavor of 2015. Earlier in our show, we spoke about Sahir Ludhianvi's biopic being in trouble, but former cricketer Mohammad Azharuddin's biopic already has fans waiting for it to come out. And guess who is eager to watch it? Sangeeta Bijlani. Now, it's no secret that Sangeeta and Azharuddin are estranged, but 9XE The Show tried to spark a connection between the two. We all know that Ekta Kapoor is making a biopic on Azharuddin with Emran Hashmi in the lead. So when we bumped into Sangeeta, how could we resist asking if she would watch the film?
I don't know anything yet. Let's see what happens.
But now you know it, right? So will you be keen to watch Emran play Azhar?
Of course I'll watch it.
Now, even though the two are no more together, Sangeeta doesn't mind being a sport and watching a film made on her long-lost love. And we hope even you guys won't miss out on watching the biopic, of course, but also 9XE The Show. Don't forget to log on to our website, 9xe.com, and our super fun YouTube channel. You should also totally check out 9XM House of Dance, where we've got DJ Cheta spinning Bollywood dance music. So bring the party to 9XM every Friday and Saturday at 10 p.m. And now I'll see you on Monday. Bye, guys.